Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Sheets. I am your host, Dorothy O'Dell, and I can't wait. I'm not sure if you've seen the first couple episodes of this brand new show, but if you're an author or if you're a reader, this is a show that you definitely want to come back and watch every week. So I started this show because I'm an author myself. For those of you that don't know, I did write my memoir, The Overcomer Facing Challenges with Faith and Courage. It's a book about my life story of overcoming bullying, low self esteem, um, family traumas, including suicide of my uncle. And I just knew that I had to get the story out, because between the sheets of the story was resilience and never giving up and giving hope to others. So others would know that, hey, if I can get through this, so can you. So that's why I wrote the book. And then it took me forever to get it out there, right? Writing the book was easy, but really getting my name out there, things like that. I had been on several podcasts and, um, thought to myself, how else can I help other authors get their labors of love out there? And of course, readers. My aunt at the age of 16, I was age 16, I went out to her place in Burlington, and I was babysitting for the summer, and she was a Harlequin romance freak, I guess you would say, and she turned me on to romance novels. So at the age of 16, I have been reading them faithfully, and it was a great way to escape. Like when life seems chaotic, it's a great place to escape between the sheets of books. And so some books are educational, some books are just, nonfiction is just to escape everyday life, or escape in the moments when you can, if you're a busy mom or busy wife, and, life can get hectic, and we all know that. And so sometimes it's just easy to grab a book and relax and unwind. And so that's what I've done over the years. Um, I've also written kind of like the sequel to the Overcomer, but it's the Overcomer Playbook. And as you can tell, football references. So playbook of, the 7 steps I use to go from surviving to thriving. And a lot of us can get caught up in that trap of survival mode. And I used to say, there are hundreds of people walking out there, that are alive but are dead inside. And so I never wanted that for people. I wanted people to be able to say, wait a minute, you know, I want to get out of this survival mode. And so that's why I wrote this book. Both books can be found on Amazon, and they're not that expensive. Um, so it's a great way to, you know, hear a story of resilience and see how I got through to the other side. I'm also a co author in this amazing book, Bringing New Words to Your Body Conversation. So, myself and 9 other authors decided to write our journey of overcoming the self talk that we had about our bodies. I don't know about you, but as a woman who, was, like I said, bullied earlier on in life, because of the extra weight that I carried, and things like that, it's people can be cruel, kids can be cruel. And so, when you have those situations happen, it's traumatizing, right? And so, then you have all these doubts about yourself, your body, what you tell yourself about your body. And women especially, I think, I mean, men get it too, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of men out there that are have low body positivity, um as well, and I get that. And but this was a way that we decided to share, um collectively, what we had been telling ourselves about our body, and how can we change that language, right? How can we go from uh, saying horrible things about our bodies to saying positive things, looking and finding those positives about our bodies and quit shaming ourselves, right? Because let's face it, society has their standards. And a lot of us are taught to buy into those societal standards. And that can be traumatizing, right? It's the if you let it. And so that's why I decided, what better way than to get my story out about that as well. And also, too, this book can be found on Amazon. um, the other authors are Bonnie Erb, Vicky Blair, Jen Zahari, Dr. Christy Matuziak, Vicky Parker, Kimberly Genovese, Brittany Kerr, April Pankin, and Dawn Roque. So 10 incredible ladies sharing their stories, sharing how, you know, those stories have affected us and how we got on the other side. So you see a theme here of overcoming. And it's funny because my first show, The Unstoppable Network, is all about people being resilient, people, veteran survivors and trailblazers sharing their stories of turning their mess into a message. And so that is why, though, I wanted to, because I have spent so many decades reading and, um, just listening to other people's stories. I also um, have formed a book club. So it's the Between the Sheets book club. Uh, and it's going to be all genres, not just romance. But I also am going to have other author interviews on here as well. And I will be giving reviews. So if you're an author and you want to collaborate together and you want to be able to share your story and things like that, and perhaps maybe have your book in their book club, that would be wonderful. Now this book club, there are several book clubs out there and I get that, but I wanted this book club to be a way of escaping and having, I guess, girl time. I guess you know what I'm saying. Men are welcome too. um, but I want to be able to read a book, digest it together, be able to have, it's like a safe space. We can say what we need to, but just enjoy what lies between the pages, because reading should be enjoyment, not just for educational purposes, in my mind. That being said, you can learn a lot from a fiction book too. Um, a lot of the authors, like Natasha Madison and DM Needham, there is a lot of everyday life stories within the pages of these books. And so, these authors talk about resilience as well. And they talk about, obviously, romance, but they talk about, how do two characters get together, right? And the what the trials and tribulations that they come within life, right? And whether they're talking about cancer or whether they're talking about other things, it's all there, and you can learn a lesson if you look what's between the sheets of these books, right? And I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll just pick a book. Like, I always read the back cover of every book first, just to see what it is, what I'm reading. And and based on that, sometimes I'll get into the book and I can't put it down. And it's really, and then I'll get hooked up into the storyline, right? If it's something that's keeping my attention, and I find 9 times out of 10, the book that I picked is just one that I needed in that moment to get me on the other side of a problem that I've been having. And maybe not a problem, but maybe just like a challenge that I'm having. Um, and so I just think that if you open yourself up to it, you could learn a lot from any book, whether that be, a memoir, or whether that be a romance novel, or whether that be someone, you know, sharing on like different things on education. Um, I wish I had that book in front of me. There's also um, Pennies from Heaven, right? Or sorry, Pennies from Vietnam, A Sister at Home, A Brother at War. So I started reading this one when I was in Mexico. I haven't finished it quite yet, but it is a story. Tracy Smith, her brother, was in active duty in Vietnam, and he would send letters home while he was over there. And he promised Tracy before, like Tracy was the youngest, and he had promised Tracy that he would send pennies home while he was gone, right? And um, that is how he promised his sister, to keep in touch. And then Larry would write letters back home to the family, and each letter, um, you know, he would share more and more about what was happening in Vietnam, and Larry came home to be a completely different man, and that's what happens, when you go to war, and especially when you leave the war at such a leave to go to war at such a young age and um, come back different, right? After what you've seen, the PTSD and things like that roll in. So, but you can learn a lot from this book. Like I learned what it was like to be in war, right? And to be a sister, to stay at home. And, parents were on edge all the time, wondering, if Larry was going to come home and how that would be, like how their lives would change. So, I mean, you can learn anything from a book, and it's just really what it is that you want to learn. So there in the book club, we are like there's different genres that we're going to have. And I would really, if you're interested, please click on the click on uh, I'll have all this in the show notes. So go to the Unstoppable Net backslash book launch events backslash Between the Sheets book club, and you can definitely find out more about the book club there, as well as please subscribe to this channel. I know we just started, so it's like only a couple episodes in, but you know everybody who comes to this channel is definitely gonna get something from it. You're gonna laugh, you may cry, um, good tears though. Just some of the stories are pretty funny. Some of the stories are steamy. Some of the stories are educational. So you never know who will be the next guest on the show, and that's okay. And if you're an author, please write to us at grahamdorothy408@gmail.com. Let us know, what book that you have authored, and have you come on if it's a good fit. And we just really want to thank all of you who are listening in. If and let us know if you have a favorite book or a favorite author. Let us know in the comments who that is, because I'm always open to reading new books. Or if you are an author just starting out and you want to collaborate together, like I said, our network is growing, and so I can't wait to I see the vision. I see that, once we get this up and running, I do see book summits and things like that. So there's lots of things that I envision with this, but we got to start somewhere. And so that's starting with this channel. That's starting with our book club, and would really, love your input. Um, and so, yeah, I hope that you join us on this crazy adventure. It's something that I have been thinking about for a while. I had a friend of mine say, what's the one thing, if you could do anything in the world, what's the one thing you would do? And I'm like, if I could get paid to read, that would be amazing. Um, now, so if you'd wanted to be a sponsor of the show, things like that, different collaborations, we are here to work with you. So yeah, we would love to collaborate with you. If you're, let us know if you're going to be at the Rose City Romance Conference in April. Um, I know Renee Jean Jerome is going to be there. We had her on last week, so definitely an amazing lady. Her books are phenomenal. Definitely somebody that you want to get to know. And yeah, if you're even thinking of writing a book, let us know. Let us know how we can help you, how we can support you, connect you with the right people. We would love that. So, with that, subscribe to our channel, please. Share it with other book readers, share it with other authors, and we would love to hear from you. What's your favorite author? um, Things like that. Come join us in the book club. Come have fun. I promise you, we will be having fun in that book club. I promise you that it's not going to be heavy. You know, not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do, but it's a great way to get together with a bunch of like-minded people who love to read, who love to, talk about the stories, who just love to um, be there and read what lies between the pages. So with that, subscribe to our channel, share with others, and thank you so much. We appreciate you and looking forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.